So let's look at the sound design. And I'm going to start, of course, with our bass. And in this serum, I've done something slightly interesting. This was a regular saw wave originally, and it basically looked like this. This is just a basic mini wavetable, but Serum has this really great feature in the wavetable editor here with the pencil icon. If I go into this saw wave, you'll see all the bins up at the top here, which relate to harmonics. But if I go to process and go down to this one here, remove fundamental HPF, it's going to get rid of that first bin, which is the fundamental frequency, the sub of this oscillator. And by doing that, it won't sound too different. You'll just be missing the low fundamental from this sound. You can see it's this basically down here. That's our actual note of F that I'm playing at the moment. And so then on oscillator B, I just added in a harmonic series wavetable, which is just a sine wave, to then reintroduce that as a sub layer. That fundamental frequency is super solid. And if I turn this off, after this, I've got both of those oscillators running into the filter, which is really the most important part of this style of bass sound. It's just a simple low pass filter. To get this new Speed Garage Respace sound, you need to have a slight resonant bump just to boost. That's without it. One thing to point out about the filter as well in here is there isn't any keyboard tracking. If this was turned on, some of those higher notes would sound a little bit too bright, so make sure that's turned off. Importantly, I've got the voicing set to mono, and I have turned the glide on just to do a very, very subtle amount of glide, 11 milliseconds there. Into the effects here, I've got the EQ inside of Serum, and all this is doing is just boosting some of the high frequencies, again around that midpoint we were talking about before. So if I turn this off, it's just emphasizing those upper harmonics in the bass. And then I've used the compressor as a limiter here. Again, I would normally do this outside of Serum with a limiter plugin. The key thing is just setting the ratio to as high as it can be. And that's going to turn, as you can see, it into a limiter. I've got a pretty fast attack, 6 milliseconds, and the release is 150 milliseconds. And you see, it's doing quite a bit of gain reduction. All it's going to do is just level out your bass so that there's not any big undulations of volume, keeping your bass really nice and solid in the low end. And one nice little feature of the bass here is the automation. I've set up a macro again to the filter cutoff here. It's not doing a lot of change. This just happens, as you can see, kind of the end of every 4 bars. You just get this slight rise in the filter frequency there. Just adds a little bit of variation as we've talked about before. Moving on to these Serum chords. These are quite simple, similar to like the Juno 106 tutorial I've done in the past. We've got unison on 7, quite a low detune here, filtering out a lot of those higher frequencies. This is set to 33 Hertz, which is quite low. We'll come on to in a minute. In the effects section, I've got a chorus built into this to add some more movement. I've got a little bit of reverb as well, and some EQ to take out some of the low frequencies, as well as an actual low cut or a high pass to take out a lot more of the sub frequencies. So with the EQ, and then with the low cut. Again, it might sound quite thin on its own, but when you play this with the bass, it can just start to get a little bit muddy without those two turned on. In here, I've also got envelope to assign to the filter cutoff, just doing a little bit of movement. There's a little bit of an attack, no sustain, and quite a long decay. But the main part of this patch is, again, the automation. So macro 1 here is controlling the filter cutoff. It's also controlling the decay inside envelope 2 here. So as it increases, the decay is getting longer and longer. If we just look at that inside our project, for example, in the beginning, macro 1 is making the cutoff very, very low at the bottom here, creating that nice fade in. In the drop, and again, a similar thing in the build-up as we got in the first build-up there too. Really, really simple though. A little bit of sidechain compression using Kickstart, which I've been using on pretty much everything, by the way. So moving on to these background vocals. Again, this originally was most likely a sample, but I wanted to try and recreate this, and I actually used another loop from that same pack, this vocal ad-lib ooh double dry. I basically took a note from that pack and I stretched it out to make this. You can hear there are quite a few like artifacts in there from the time stretching, but I want it to be as long as it possibly could. And then I've just used that in 2 simplers here. You can see this is the first simpler, and this is just in monophonic mode. It's got 1 voice. I've also got the loop turned on, as you can see, so that we get a nice long note. And then inside the controls, I've turned the glide on as well. Quite a long glide, as you can hear. And importantly, at the beginning of this phrase, I've just done this, where I've got the first note is the G, the lower note, and then the B flat, which is the actual note that's being sung at the beginning, comes in very, very small amount of time afterwards. And that's just creating that nice bend at the beginning. I'll turn this off. And that's just because the 2 notes are overlapping in that 1 voice mode. The same with this. As you can see, they just overlap slightly. And I wanted them to be separate because they do sound slightly different. This main melody does fade out near the end. Compared to those chords underneath, so I separated them, and then this is just set to more of a regular 6 voices playing those 2 chords. And for both of them, I just added a little bit of EQ and a bit of reverb. There's nothing crazy going on with them. And then finally in the bottom here, we've just got some sound effects. All the samples and the presets for these can be just found in the sample pack. This kind of glitch effect at the beginning, just before the drop, doesn't sound exactly the same. We've also got this FX siren, which has a bit of pitch bend in the note, as you can see. And we've got some risers. And this kind of downlifter here, which if you look in the presets, you'll see it has a macro control. And that macro just changes the pitch very slightly of the noise risers from the lower one to this higher one here, all being controlled by this pitch here. And it's just white noise with a filter, and the pitch just changes the cutoff over on the right. And the sidechain compression is actually just built into Serum here because I thought it could be interesting to use as a preset. And that's the track. It's a much shorter one than we normally do, but the track is a lot more simple. Really, the key focus of the song is on that main bass line. The vocals, you don't necessarily need a lot of elements. If you find a good combination of 2 things, like a good bass and a good vocal, you can have a full song pretty much ready and made if you just focus on getting those 2 elements right, instead of adding more and more instruments to fix problems that might be just from those original parts. Another great example of that is that Notion remix, which has been around for quite a bit now, where it really just focuses on that bass sound, the drums and the vocals. Of course, and in this genre, that's also just a massive part of how these tracks are made. But there's still quite a bit to learn from this track. And again, the extended version of this tutorial, where we talk a little bit more in depth about the vocals, some of the mixing elements, and some of the other presets that you didn't see, will be on our Patreon, as well as the extended sample pack for anyone that uses Ableton that will come with instrument racks and audio effect racks from the project. Plus, as a note, you also get a discount on any online one-to-ones if you sign up to the Patreon. But the main purpose of the Patreon is really just so you can help support the channel if you wanted to. As always, put any suggestions for future breakdowns in the comments below, or any kind of videos that you'd want to see on our channel. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel because it's a really big help. We just got past 3,000 subscribers the other day, so I'm really grateful for everyone that's supporting the channel. But thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.